I believe 2025 is going to be the last year that money is this easy to be made. 2026 is going to be filled with so many hardships, and just you are going to be locked into the situation that you are in 2025 and 2026. If you don't have much money and you don't really have your own business, you work a 9 to 5, I believe you're essentially locking yourself in to that for your life. If you've got lots of money in 2025, that's just going to multiply. Things are going to get a lot harder. The barrier to entry in most areas is going to just keep going up and up and up, so it's not feasible to get in. So with that being said, I want to talk about how you can make 2025 your year, right? Everyone aims for the goal of $10,000 a month to be made, and that's a great start. So let me kind of explain the mindset and mental, willpower that you need in order to achieve that. And I'm hoping that this video is going to kind of unlock some understanding and push you in the direction that you want to go down. So before we get started, what should you do? Right? You are watching my video, which means you probably watch a lot of videos like this. Videos on email marketing, on drop shipping, on branded stores, digital products, agencies, everywhere. Where do you put your time? What do? You don't know, right? And because you're being pulled in those areas, because you're learning about all those things, you've probably experimented with a lot of them before, okay? So before we go further in this video, ask yourself, what was I most passionate about? What gave me the most drive? What was I actually excited to work on? I had my to-do list. I constantly could keep feeding new tasks in. I enjoyed ticking it off, right? Now, I started ecom in 2016, 9 years ago, and I can vividly remember right at the start, I still lived with my parents. I had this really tiny bed and my little desk in the corner, and I was laying in bed one night, and I'd been building a Shopify store all day, right? I'd been learning all about drop shipping all day, and I was lying in bed, and I thought, something just clicked, and I went, that's a much better way at doing, I think it was a layout of the store on the site. I jumped out of bed. I spent an hour doing it. I was already tired. I was falling asleep in bed, right? It had been a long day. I got straight out of bed. I did it until it was done. Then I got back in bed. I thought some more about it, fell asleep, woke up early, and got back to it. And I loved it. It was that drive, right? And there's not really been any drive like that for me with any kind of other work other than ecom. So it was a no-brainer. What route do I want to go down? The route that gave me the most passion. Because let's be honest, a lot of people tell you don't work within your passions, but you lack the self-discipline to build a waste disposal business, right? Billions of pounds to be made in waste disposal. You go out and look at the yachts in Monaco, and there'll be some Russian oligarch who owns one, who owns an insane waste disposal business. So much money, but you won't have the drive to get out of bed and do that work, will you? Right? So start with your passion. Start with where you have the most energy naturally inside of you and fire in your belly to get that work done. If you don't, you just won't get it done, right? If you have so much friction at the start of even starting your business, right, that you have to fight yourself to get the tasks done, you are essentially having to build self-discipline within yourself before you can even get any work done. Whereas if you work on a passion, you can build self-discipline whilst building a business. You're doing it simultaneously. You're not fighting against yourself. You are using it as a tool to improve how you operate, your mindset, and just your general efficiency levels. So once you know where your passions are, I promise you making money within it is so much easier, okay? But now, where do you start? Oh, okay, yeah, I want to do drop shipping. I remember I did it a bit ago. I had this huge passion for it, but I just wasn't very good at it. I wasn't very, I couldn't get the results, but I loved the work, the idea, whatever. You have to go down rabbit holes. You have to go into the trenches. Your to-do lists have to just be filled with learning, right? Now, think back to when you were a kid and think back to when you were learning to ride a bike. Did your parents or whoever taught you to ride a bike give you a book and go, right, little Johnny, that's how you ride a bike. I want you to read that book, and once you've read it, you can go out and you can ride that bike, right? No. You went up to the park, right? You went up to the park and you got put on that bike and you got told to pedal. Pedal. Go on, little Johnny, pedal, pedal. And you'd fall and you would fall and you would fall. Your elbows would be scraped. Depending on how old you were, you probably cried, right? Maybe you busted your nose and had a nosebleed. But guess what? By the end of it, you knew how to ride a bike. You learned it through action, through doing what was needed. You didn't read the guides and the articles and whatnot. Sure, in theory is great to have, but you're never going to learn how to do something unless you do it. And that is the same with business. You can watch 100 videos on setting up the best Shopify store you've ever seen. Wow, it's amazing. But until you actually go and do it yourself, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how it's going to end up, right? You don't know where that section goes and how to get this and how to get that, right? You have to go in and do it. You have to do the mouse movements, the keyboard clicks, right? You have to be in the trenches and taking physical action, moving that needle forward towards your goals. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. You are not going to get anything done. Now, just like riding that bike and falling, you're embracing failure throughout your life. The more failure you have, the more that it does not harm you. It does not harm you, right? You are not afraid to fail. If you are not afraid to fail, you are going to be leaps and bounds ahead of your competition, right? If you're not scared of a bad day, if you're not scared to try something, it go wrong, and you speak to someone and go, hey, look, I tried to get this going, but it didn't work out, right? If you accept that you are a student and learn and not be afraid and not have such a high ego, then you are going to get so much further. You need to leave your ego at the door. When you step and sit down at your desk, wherever you work, you have to think, my ego gets left behind. I do not know much. I need to soak up info like a sponge. Because it does not matter what people think of you. When you are learning, right, and you're telling people, look, I want to get 10K a month, but I'm doing everything I can possible, right? To them, cool, right? Cool, you're getting there. When you get to 10K a month, they're not going to think back and go, God, remember when he didn't even know how to do that? What a loser. They're going to think back and go, he smashed it, right? What's next for him? No one's going to remember you. If anything, after helping so many people over the years, the ones you help the most are the ones that you are so proud to see do well, right? They are the ones that will do well, the ones that ask the questions, that want to know more, the ones that ask good questions, right? The ones that have actually gone through the information, and the questions that they come back are the ones where the information was not covering that, and you go, that's a good question, right? That is a good question. That is going to teach you the most, and it's going to make the person that you are asking questions to respect you more. The other benefit of failing so many times is winning feels so much better, okay? Now, the ones who are born into wealth, the ones that, Bill Gates' kids and, the Saudis and stuff that were just born into immense amounts of money. Money is meaningless to them, right? They can get everything they want. When you play like Grand Theft Auto story mode and you cheated in a load of cash and you could get everything you want instantly, how boring did that game become, right? So boring. It's why when you complete a game and you're going around with the best gear and everything, it's boring. You quit, right? that's like life. Sure, once you have earned what you wanted from starting from nothing to getting all of your goals and, dreams, it's a lot of fun. But the journey is always the best part. And failure is a part of that journey. And when you make it, you're going to think back to all those failures and think how good that was. That was the funnest times of it all, right? If you were a football player, an NFL player, right? And every year you were in the Super Bowl, and you knew every year, I'm going to win. My team's going to win. I don't have to practice. I don't have to do this. It's going to be pretty boring, right? But in reality, you have to put the work in. You have to put the effort in, and you have to show up every single day. You have to follow a routine. A routine, as I like to say, is your weapon. If every single day you are that guy that's on his computer at 6 a.m., you've clocked in on your boys' group chat, you all right, boys? Yeah, boom. And you're working, and everyone can see the steps you are taking. But you're not that guy that pretends that laps, right? Yeah, I'm awake, boys. And then he's out doing Instagram stories of him out all day, whatever. And then I'm grinding. No, you're not, right? Get in the trenches and let's see some results. Now, you're probably seeing a pattern to this video. It's a lot of mindset, because the only thing that's holding you back from getting £10,000 a month, $10,000 a month, is you. You are the number one limiting factor between you and your dreams, okay? Do you want to know how to get, close a client today, or how to get guaranteed results drop shipping, right? Send 10,000 manual emails today, right? Until you next sleep. Completely possible, but you wouldn't want to do that. So why not, right? That's how you're going to get results, by putting in large amounts of work. You want a drop shipping product to do well? Test 100 of them. Test 10 a day, right? That's physically not impossible, okay? That you can physically do that. You're going to be tired, you're going to be drained, you're going to be burnt out, but that is going to get you to the goals you want. So what are you actually doing each day? Okay, are you testing one product? Are you sending 5 emails? What are you doing? Right, your time can be so valuable and so powerful, but you are the number one limiting factor stopping you from doing the actions that is going to take you to your dreams. Now, I had a friend, and he worked a 9 to 5, and if you spoke to him, you would think, wow, this guy is so clever, he knows business so well, so many ideas, he must do so much work outside of his work. Or you'd think he works for himself anyway, but he was the biggest larper around. You would speak to him whilst he was at work, and he would tell you, yeah, I've got this going, I'm going to be setting this up when I get home, I've got these crypto plans, I've got this drop shipping store, I've got some clients who I think I can do this kind of work for, I'm going to set that up. He'd get home from work, he lived with his parents, he'd open the door, the heating would be on, he'd smell his mum cooking dinner, right? He would see the cupboards were full of snacks and everything. He'd go upstairs to his bedroom, and there'd be a nice clean bed sheet, comfy bed, he'd have his TV, his computer, and he would think, what's the point? I'm fine, I'm comfy. This is where I want to be. I'm just going to play League of Legends. Every single day, that's what he did. He would feed himself this dream to get him through his 9 to 5, and then when things got comfy again, he just got lazy. Now, the last 2 mindset things I want to cover are abundance mindset and the law of attraction, okay? Now, the abundance mindset for me has been extremely powerful. It's been, a really fantastic tool that I have utilized. And for many years, I have had quite a lot of money. So I have never been desperate for it. And I've been in lots of meetings and lots of interviews, hiring people or trying to pitch us our business to do something. And I've never been scared of no, because that one meeting, that one new client, that one new job or whatever has never been the end all or be all for me. If they say no, my life does not change. Okay, In fact, nothing changes. If they said yes, it would get a bit cool. It'd be a bit cool, bit more money. If they say no, I'm still extremely comfortable. So that's abundance mindset, that no matter what happens, you have a lot of it. Now, the downside to abundance mindset I don't like is when people say you make £10,000, you spend £10,000. Don't spend all your money. That's just stupid. Use it in the way that's going to benefit you into, again, embracing no's, embracing failure, right? If you can go onto client calls and just pretend that you don't need it, right? Pretend that this is not important to you because you have abundant amount of money, right? Money is in abundance for you. It comes, it goes, it flows, you utilize it, you do this, right? Even if you don't, just pretend. And you will see that you start to speak a bit more freely, right? And people can kind of sense that energy and they want to work with you more. So not being scared of no or caring if they say no or anything has actually been the highest conversion booster for me in like meetings. And then the other one is the law of attraction, right? Let your brain, right, reprogram your brain to not be scared of what you actually want, okay? Now, how do I explain this, right? Some of you are going to have imposter syndrome. You're going to make your first bit of money and think, oh, I shouldn't have this, spend, spend, spend. You have to constantly program your brain, whether you have it or not, that you want XYZ. You can handle XYZ. I can handle large amounts of money, okay? I can handle a sports car. I can handle flying first class. I can do all of this. So when it actually happens, your brain can accept it. And also putting yourselves on these energy waves can increase the odds and chances of you getting it. Manifesting what you actually want can help it actually come to you. It sounds crazy. Go down rabbit holes with it and you will see for yourself that stuff like this actually works. And even if it doesn't, there's no harm in trying, okay? Because this is the dream life that you want, right? So all of these steps and these mindset things for me are the biggest driver to pushing you to doing X numbers a month. What's your goal a month? £100,000 a month, right? And a lot of you will listen to that and think 100k a month? No way. No one can deserve that. That is you needing to reprogram your brain and understand that that is achievable, okay? And not limiting your thinking as much as you are, because like I said, you are the number one limiting factor stopping you from achieving whatever it is you want to achieve. But yeah, I went over a lot this video. You can do anything. You can make lots of money in anything, but first find that passion, right? Learn by doing and keep doing, and setting yourself routines that are going to get you there, okay? That is the number one thing you can do, and I promise you it will work. So I hope you liked this video, guys. I don't really have a schedule as to when I do these videos. I'm not selling anything in these videos, but if you want, follow me on Instagram. That's in the description. If you want to speak to me, ask a question, I get back to all the messages there. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy your day.